It's showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
Welcome, citizens of the Next Reel, to Saturday Matinée, our weekly show where the Next Reel team gets together to talk about news, reviews, new trailers, our weekly list challenges, and more. Might I add, now entering its third century. That's right, because it's episode 201 for October of 2021. I'm Rob Kubasko. Joining me is the fabulous Mandy Fabian.
Thank you.
And the oh-so-delicious, yet still surprisingly satisfying Kyle Olson.
Oh, you.
Not surprising. Why did I say that? No, you're delicious and satisfying all the time, every time, except for that one time in Chicago. But don't tell anybody about that.
Well,
all right, so
what happens in Chi-Town stays in Chi-Town.
Welcome, one and all. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Mandy, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Finishing September strong.
I was as we record, and we're going in like October. We have so much fun stuff this episode for October. What, Mandy? What are you watching? What's taking your time?
I am actually. It's already in the second season. The Other Two on HBO Max. Yeah. I'd heard about this. It's one of those, it's like Schitt's Creek for me. Like everybody was saying, oh, you have to watch Schitt's Creek. And it was like season 5. And I was like, I guess I'll turn it on. And then I could not stop watching it. This is The Other Two. And I love it. I love it. Guilty pleasure nightly right now. It has got 2 seasons. It's hilarious. I love it.
Is it a comedy?
Yeah.
I've seen the promo, but okay, so it's a comedy.
It's about 2 siblings whose little brother becomes like a Justin Bieber sensation overnight on the internet, and they are both decidedly less successful. And now they are sort of living in their brother's shadow and dealing with the giant fame of their brother. It's pretty funny.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
Kyle, what are you doing? What are you watching?
My big thing right now is Why the Last Man. So that has been one of those things that has. It was one of my favorite comic series. I have I have the full hardcover collection. Really enjoyed it. Oh yes, I know. I actually have physical books. It's amazing. This had bounced around Hollywood for such a long time. I never thought they were actually going to get it done. They had so many close calls. Was it going to be a movie? Was it going to be a television series? That nobody really knew. And then suddenly it all came together and it actually just showed up. And I'm watching it and enjoying it, and I'm really frustrated with it, which is like, oh yeah, that's how I felt about the comic too. So it's accurate because the 2 sort of lead characters are both super selfish and annoying, and so it's like you watch and go, oh, why are you doing this? But I was like, oh yeah, that's how I felt about them in the comics too. It's weird that like you have that, like, oh yeah, by the end they're gonna have a journey and they'll be a different person, but at the start you're like, wow, this is really hard for people who don't know like where they end up to watch and go, why would anyone like either of these people?
Oh wow.
2 siblings, a brother and a sister, they're on separate paths and they're both equally annoying in different ways.
Oh,
interesting. Well, I've seen the promos for that a lot.
Yeah. So for the premise is basically that in one moment, every male of every species on Earth dies.
Right.
Just like that. So so basically like they're having like conversations, and then all of a sudden like all the men's like nose start bleeding, like ooh, and they just kill over and die. And so this is about, and then for some reason one guy was spared. So like he's Yorick, the last man, and so he's the last man on Earth. And then it's about society and like what happens when there are no men around and women have to come together and some of them they can't put the past away, and like it's all different factions form, and then what happens to the government and all these things. So it's like it's a 99% female cast, which is awesome, and then just the guy. And also because it's updated, they're actually dealing with trans issues. Like in the first couple episodes, that was my first question. I was like, hey, what about? And they deal with it. I was like, oh, good.
Wow.
Shows that it's a 2021 show.
It's an all-female character show. Is there any action, or is it just talking?
No, it's I mean, yeah, there is action. There is, I mean, because there's a lot of like some women choose violence. It's one of those things. So factions are forming, and there are mobs and that stuff too. So yes, there's intrigue and action and drama and stuff too. It has all the elements of it. It hasn't gelled quite yet, but I'm 1 episode behind, and I heard that episode is a game changer. That things start to come together. So yeah, and if you're a comic book fan, read the comic book too. It's It has not aged well in a couple of parts, but it is very interesting, and the art is fantastic.
And where's that on?
What
network is that on?
That is on FX, and if FX on Hulu is actually where I'm watching it. So if you're a Hulu person, it comes with it.
Okay, so I just got to say, Mandy, I didn't defer out of politeness to go to Kyle next. I did it more a little bit out of embarrassment. My wife, I don't know if I've mentioned this before in the last couple of months. My wife is on a Bones kick. She just discovered Bones, the old TV show from Fox with Emily Deschanel in it. And she's on like season 10. Thank God there's only 12 seasons. When we go home from work and I go into the room, I'm like, oh, it's Bones again. Can I watch? No, leave it on. Watch Bones. I'm like, okay, she's a nurse. So, I mean, you get what you want.
Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's Bones, and then the usuals. They talked about Ted Lasso last week, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right? Which I know mileage will vary, whatever. I'm excited. Some of the shows, if you're an episodic television fan of like the network variety, those shows are coming back, so you're getting some new episodes of that. I'm old. We watch NCIS. I'll admit it.
Most people don't.
Oh, no.
That's good for you.
Gary Cole. Gary Cole's on it now.
You're so
Come
brave,
on,
Rob.
it's fine.
You're so brave.
There's help here for you.
Well, okay.
You're going to be okay, Rob. You're going to be
listen.
okay.
We're going to get you through this.
But there are movies that I'm looking forward to. I know we have the Carnage movie this weekend. James Bond next week. Early reviews sound amazing. Again, James Bond, mileage will vary. I understand. There's cool stuff coming.
Oh, great stuff. I'm very excited about the movies coming up. A lot of Christmas things I'm excited about.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, true. There's not a lot of Christmas themed things. I guess probably because 2020 kind of screwed everything up.
We thought Christmas was dead. Like the liberals finally did kill Christmas. So the war on Christmas was won. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that, am I?
You can say whatever you want.
No. The views are not reflected of this program or something like that. That's a disclaimer. I'm just making jokes, folks.
No, it'll be interesting to see. I know we talked about one of the Marvel shows is going to have a Christmas theme and during the holidays.
Yep.
But I'm sure we're going to start seeing a lot more previews and there'll be some good stuff coming in November and December. Going on to news, we had a light news week. We have some breaking news that I know, Mandy.
Oh, that's true.
It's Marvel Cinematic Universe related, but it is breaking news, and it applies to every movie production moving forward in a still pandemic world. Kyle.
Well, I'm very excited to hear this.
Kyle, did you hear what happened today? What did we find out just recently?
Scarlett Johansson just got a giant check. That's what happened. Disney settled with Scarlett Johansson over the Black Widow streaming residuals, whatever is going on their issue. They basically, basically that's what it is. Disney lawyers went, we have a number. And Scarlett Johansson people said, and we'll take that number. So whatever. So it is undisclosed. We don't know what it is, but apparently it was enough to make everybody happy. So
wow.
I'm just glad because the war of words was getting ugly, and I think that they were finding that the rest of the talent was not on the side of Disney in this. Yeah. And so they're like, because apparently it changed a lot of negotiating that for future projects that was happening. And they're like, we need to get past this and get past it now. Here you go, Scarlett, everything's fine, right? We're all good, right?
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine. That's interesting. Okay, well, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Teamsters are also...
Yeah, that's still going on.
Mm-hmm, threatening to strike. So... they also would like to be paid a living wage. Well, Scarlett doesn't have that issue, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. You just you killed my joke. My joke was going to be, you know what, how you solve a problem that a truck full of money can't solve? 2 trucks of money. But in that case, no, let's just give people like a bucket of money.
You need
and
the person,
then like, okay.
But you need someone to drive the truck.
Thank you.
Amen.
Yes, indeed. So we got that. We also had, now this was not mentioned. This was a news item that, for those of you who are British science fiction television fans, even people who are not, you know about Doctor Who.
We're going to talk about Blake 7?
Yeah. No, the other one.
No?
There's Doctor Who, and Doctor Who is the longest running British science fiction television show, probably television show. I don't know anything's been going on for over for almost 55 years. And or more, almost near 60. And they had a huge announcement last week. Russell T Davies, who was the showrunner back when the first in 2005 when the show came out from its hiatus, he's coming back. He's getting the show again.
Yeah. Wow.
For the 60th anniversary and beyond. And I know there's a lot of controversy about this because there's been a lot of naysayers about the current doctor, Jodie Whittaker, who, has the show faltered because of this. They've obviously tried to do some very bold
Took some
and
big
different
swings.
things, big swings, everybody. I mean, we get that. That's cool. And you need, for a franchise this old, you need to do that.
Yeah.
But it's amazing to see that. I don't know if this is necessarily an acknowledgement that they needed to course correct, but I'm honestly surprised that he decided to say, yeah, I'll come back and try this on again.
Well, maybe there was a third truck of money. I don't know.
Well, from what I'm told, the BBC is pretty tight-fisted with their stuff, so I don't think it was a money issue that really came down to it. It seems like you kind of know what you're getting into,
right?
Like the stress, and he is notorious for blowing deadlines. Like that was one of the things when he ran the show. It was just like he was constantly like he had to be under fire to get his stuff done. So maybe in the intervening years, he's sort of gotten past that and he can be a little bit more. I mean, Aaron Sorkin was the same way, and he never came back to West Wing. So now I don't think, have we ever seen anyone like this, like that had left a television show that they were running and came back years later
to totally run everything and cast
to run the show again? Yeah, I couldn't think of it.
No, I can't think of anyone either.
Yeah.
Is it to close it out? Like, is this sort of... Oh, no, this just
they're actually getting ready for a big anniversary, and he was sort of around in the last, well, not the time before, and so they were thinking that maybe they just want to have a steady hand at the helm for the 60th anniversary. So so they announced that he'll be running the show, and he'll be in charge of that as well. So last time for the 50th, they did a big crossover giant episode, showed it on the big screen, and they're probably going to be doing something as equally as big. And so he's going to be the guy running that.
Well,
wow.
It is a big deal. Yeah. And I also think it's kind of funny in that for the people who are naysayers, and I certainly not one of them, I've enjoyed this version of the Doctor, maybe not as much as other ones, but I think the show, again, taking big swings. The people who are like, oh, too much, too current, too many politics, too much trying to be social statement on social issues. Have you ever seen what Russell T Davies has done? Like, do you guys all not know that this dude has no fear of tackling issues head on and throwing it in your face? Yeah. You think it's going to change? I don't know. I mean, I think they felt that Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker felt it was time. That's cool. Great power to them. They go out on their terms.
Doctor Who is a beast,
yes.
And it wears you down. We've seen any of it. It's like the presidency. Like it just like takes so much out of you over the course of those years that you're in the hot seat.
Did you just compare that to the American presidency? Is that I just want to make sure I got your 100%. Metaphor. Okay,
that is equally in terms of power for England running Doctor Who.
Wow.
And American president. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I need to study up on my foreign politics. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that.
That was.
Cultures have changed due to Doctor Who.
Well, okay. So speaking of, so we talked about getting, run into the ground and then not knowing what's next. That sounds almost like an underdog. That means maybe we should transition to trailers like that.
Oh,
I kind of like how I switched that by. Mandy was number one. And we had a little technical thing, and then Kyle was like, "No, dude, I thought I was number one," and Kyle was like, "No, stop it." And I was like, "Okay, I just didn't know." Yeah, fine. Thanks, Pete. But like,
thank you.
No, so you're number one. What is your trailer?
My trailer is called American Underdog.
You wanted to see me, sir.
Sit down, Kurt.
Thank you, Coach. I prefer to stand.
All right, go ahead then. Tell me.
Tell you what.
Why a team worth $800 million, one of the most complex offenses ever built, should put you in the driver's seat. You're too old to be a rookie, too green to be a pro. So why in the world would I give you this shot?
All my life, I've defined myself through sports. I've always come up empty.
Coach, I can win for you. You need to start thinking about life after football, son.
We gave you that chance. We're letting you go.
I was meant for something. Something more.
You think you could be that guy?
Yeah, I do.
What are you doing here?
I wasn't ready for it, but I am now.
I saw Zachary Levi and I was like, what's happening? I haven't even heard anything about this movie, but it's everything I love. It's Merca, which I love because I'm a patriot. It is, I actually do not love really like watching football every Sunday, but God, do I love sports movies? I really actually do. There's just an inherent drama. I get so excited. I like that all the boring bits have been cut out so you just see the exciting parts of the game. And then on top of it all, and I think you might know this about me, I love losers. I love an underdog. I will literally be watching a team that I'm rooting for, and if they start to win, I'll start rooting for the other team. I don't know what it is about me. I don't want anybody ever to lose. So I was so excited. This come from behind. You're too old. No, I'm not. I cannot wait to see this movie. Can't wait.
Okay, so wait. Now, I'm really curious about this. Do you know who Kurt Warner is?
Nope.
Oh, wow. No, I mean, okay, they hooked you like totally because, okay, so this movie.
Does he die?
Oh, no.
And just before you get into the thing, I am 100% with Mandy on all of those things. Hate sports, love sports movies, and know nothing about Kurt Warner or anything around it. So
tell
please
me.
Oh, no, okay, so the cool,
Yes.
so Kurt Warner's story, which I mean, it's going to be a story of inspiration, and his whole thing is he loved football. Played, I think, Northern Iowa in college. He went 4 years, couldn't get drafted to an NFL team. The Green Bay Packers sign him. They cut him before the season starts. He goes to the Arena Football League, which is like, at that time, it was more or less spectacles. It was like the professional wrestling of football, right? So,
and there was no XFL.
No, but I mean, no scripted or anything. But I mean, like the same sort of athletic. You can get injured and all this stuff. He then last minute gets a spot on the St. Louis Rams at the time, and he then becomes a backup. The following season, he has to start, and they go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. And it was
wait, you just
no, I didn't spoil no because everybody knows. Nobody's well. I was about to say nobody's going to go to this movie not knowing Kurt Warner's story.
Yeah.
He goes to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Now, and then as people, as we are, I'm based in Phoenix, Kyle as well. He then gets traded to the Arizona Cardinals and takes them to their first Super Bowl appearance ever. Now, they don't win, but I mean, that's fine. So he is that's all right. By all aspects, he is a wonderful man, a wonderful family man. It is absolutely a story of perseverance. If you know this guy's story, this movie seems like it's going to do it. And Zachary Levi, yeah.
Yes. And you know what? I also loved The Rookie, starring Dennis Quaid.
Yes.
Oh,
The Rookie.
Another
so
like
great.
everybody says it's such a good movie. And then I saw Dennis Quaid in this. I was like, oh my God, it's full circle. It's perfect.
We just need a Sean Astin cameo so we get a Rudy connection in there.
Oh.
This is like the other side of the Rudy story.
Yes. Rudy. Yes. I don't know what Anna Paquin was doing in there, but I'm sure she'll be great. But I was like,
everybody's got bills to pay.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Oh, that's it. No, it's a great pick, and I think this will appeal to a lot of different people. It'll appeal to sports fans. It'll appeal to the people who just like a feel good story that's going to lift them up.
Yes, I'm so excited.
This is in theaters on Christmas Day. Is that still currently the release date? I believe so. I thought it was December 25th.
I believe so too.
Yes, that's it. Currently, that's what it says on the thing. It says December 25th.
It's going to be a busy day.
Well, there we go.
Day.
What a wonderful. All right, great pick. I got in there next. Okay, so run, because it is Attack of the Hollywood Cliches.
Thousands of movies are released every year. That's a lot of stories. Stock characters, familiar story beats, and convenient plot devices have crept in over time. Tonight, we celebrate the cliches that have made cinema what it is today.
There's a bloodlust that a great villain creates in an audience.
You can say gibberish dialogue with great conviction.
These are trophies I keep in my den as paperweights. How do you suggest the act of sex without actually showing it? Is it raining outside?
Music will be building, bodies will look amazing. It's so passionate. We all know what's going to happen. We don't really need to see the next bit.
I saw this news clip come up. It's Rob Lowe. And what is this? It's a Netflix movie that is more mockumentary. I don't know what you would call this, right? All I just know is that I saw this, that Lucy Mangan of The Guardian writes, Rob Lowe raises idiocy to high art. And it's one of those Netflix, it's one of those Netflix things that they've produced that it's Hollywood trying to laugh at itself. And here's what I'm interested in. It looks like an autopsy of all of the most tried and true run into the ground cliches. What am I talking about? The maverick cop, the car chase, the jump scare, the angry desk sweep where, you know, that's it. I'm so mad. I'm going to throw all my stuff and then I'm never going to pick it up. Like, it looks really funny. I got a huge kick out of this. And okay. And then the thing that, you know what sold my heart? Andy McDowell's in it.
Oh,
and
yes.
That's what got me. And I'm like, I'm watching this. What did you guys think?
I love that Andy McDowell was the seller. I really do. I was so excited to see her too. I was skeptical at first, but it totally won me over, and I want to devour every frame of it. Like it has such a jaunty sense of humor, and it's poking fun at it. Like the desk sweep was one that I laughed out loud. Right. And I just love, like clip movies, like, where they go back and show great moments from movies over time. Like I'm sold. I can watch and rewatch this. It looks great.
I agree. I'm hoping that they'll get a lot of talking heads, that they'll actually talk to the people who were involved in some of these things. And it looks like they did, as opposed to just, some random. It's like, this is what makes it better than like a YouTube video covering the same thing, is that you actually can have good production values and get the actual celebrities to come in. And I'm hoping that this will kill a lot of these cliches because they're still being used to this day.
Oh, because they're so satisfying. The other thing, the other thing I really love too is Rob Lowe is so funny. Like he's really genuinely funny, and he's too pretty to be funny because usually you don't get both.
That's right.
Because why would he ever have developed a sense of humor, right? He didn't need it, but he did.
Right.
So
it's like him and Chris Hemsworth. Like, do you have to have everything?
Yeah.
Did you like, though? I love how this is the first time I think I have seen Rob Lowe distinguishedly aging.
Yeah.
And he's handsome. Like, oh, are you kidding me? This guy's beautiful.
Yeah.
But wow. I mean, wow. I was like, okay, you know what? I want to watch this now. If you're saying to yourself, well, okay, when am I going to be able to watch this? Watch it right now after you're done listening, because it was released a few days ago at the end of September. It's going to be on my watch list for this weekend. So, and where?
So excited.
On Netflix, because they have money for this. All right, Kyle, take it home. What do we got?
All right. So I'm going a little bit forward and backwards because we're going to talk about the Old West because my trailer is for a new Western called The Harder They Fall.
Bump, bump.
Man, old devil, this is going to be Buck's last day amongst the living.
What exactly he do to you?
Call it a professional robbery.
I know who you are. That love. Outlaw hunts down those who trespass against him with no mercy.
Where is it?
Where is who?
Your boss.
My boss. Clearly, you don't know me.
Now, I know a lot of long-time Satman people would be like, hey, you already did this trailer. And you're right. I did the teaser for it. So I won't get into specifically about it. Basically, it is a new Western movie. Let's see, directed by James Samuel. It's got a ton of amazing stars in it. It's got Delroy Lindo. It's got Regina King. It's got Zazie Beetz. But what I wanted to talk about specifically, and why I wanted to bring this on here, is I'm fascinated by the fact that the advertising can pivot. So the first time this trailer came out, it was about Idris Elba. Like they had Regina King was the first one on screen, so she's the major star. And then the big reveal when the cell door opens, it was Idris Elba. So they showed this amazing cast going through, but that was the big thing. It was like, oh, okay, Regina King, Idris Elba, those are the ones who are like the major tent poles in this amazing Western. But the story has changed since then before, because now there's another actor who at the time nobody knew who he was, but now he's become a huge star. So now it's Idris Elba and Regina King and Jonathan Majors. So now Jonathan Majors is now a huge part of this trailer. And I found that so interesting that this guy who had been, like his role hasn't changed. Like he was always a part of this movie, but nobody knew who he was. They just knew, he's the guy from Lovecraft County. Wasn't that the guy? And like now all of a sudden he's a major star from Loki, and he's going to be in the, he's a Marvel hero, a villain.
We'll see.
We'll see. Or which version shows up. But now all of a sudden, now he's a major part of their advertising campaign. I just love the fact that they're like, oh, we have a star. Like, quick, get him on all the posters. Like, get him up there. I thought it was great. What did you guys think of the trailer?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it when you brought it up. I think I was on set, Matt, when you did the teaser. What surprised me on this one was how much deeper the story is. There's a lot more to it. A lot more cast, a lot more action, and a lot more humor. Yeah. And I loved it, and I'm totally looking forward to this.
I love that little tidbit about how the teaser is so different than the trailer. I love Idris Elba, and I loved him I loved him in Concrete Cowboy. So I was really excited to see this as a Western. But there was so much like bam, 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 blood, blood, squirt, bam, 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 blood, blood, blood. And I'm like, what's the story? I was like, I can't.
Boom.
I can't. People start shooting, bam, bam, bam. And I'm like, no, thank you. And I'm out. So I probably will not watch the movie unless I hear that it's a masterpiece, because I can't. It's too much violence for me. That's me. I'm a baby that way. But
I mean, I am.
I know. All right. Jesus, give me Meryl Streep in a talkie. I love it. Yeah. So I probably won't gravitate towards it unless it's winning awards, and even then, I don't know.
That's all right. It's okay. No, this looks good. And is this a staggered release? Movies and then Netflix?
I think they're showing it in film festivals. Okay. Let's see, it's supposed to have its real, they say at the London Film Festival. It's supposed to show off first, and then at Montclair. But I think they're just sort of doing it sort of promotionally, and then it hits Netflix officially on November 3rd.
Right. November 3rd. Okay.
So I think it'll just be popping up here and there, and then
something to give thanks for.
A little Netflix heavy. Wow, Netflix. There you go.
Hey man, they got
this
cash.
Is like I said. They got all the trucks. But anyway, well, no, actually, that's not true. There's other people who got trucks. It's just don't even worry about it. All right, I think it's time we play a little game. Everyone knows I love brackets, right? I love this whole tournament. You guys, I will put together a matchup. You will discuss, you will pick a winner. If you don't pick a winner, or if you each pick a different one, then I will be the tiebreaker in this. People know this. It's October. Okay. Or maybe, Mandy, I don't know if you know this, but I mean, it's like the old brackets, for tournament play. I've enjoyed doing this. It's been fun. It's October. And I thought, well, what other better way to ring in the month of scares and ghouls than True Story FM's The Next Real Saturday Matinee Ultimate Movie Monster Showdown.
Oh yeah.
And I thought about saying Universal instead of Ultimate. I checked out with the Next Real legal team, and they said, no, don't do that. Stick with Ultimate, because that's fine. So all right, this is it now.
So Rob, are you saying this is kind of a monster mash up?
Oh, dang.
How
shots
I
fired.
can't follow that.
I'm confused as to how I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
This isn't about that Charlize Theron movie, right? This is something different.
Oh no. What is Okay.
Okay.
Here's what we're going to do. So, tournaments usually, because we got to come with the final four, right? We got to have that final four matchup, and then we get into the championship round. So we got to have four regions. Well, the four regions are Dracula, Frankenstein, the werewolf, and the mummy. And you think, okay, now this is interesting, right? So we're going to do each region, and then we're going to go into the semifinals and everything else. But I had to tweak some stuff here, and I wanted to challenge myself. So each one of the matchups is themed And it's not even just a matchup one versus two. It's a trio. It's 1 versus 2 versus 3. Let me just tell you right now, just sit back, enjoy. You're going to find a movie. You're going to hear about a movie over the next few minutes that you're going to want to watch this month, or many, in celebration of everything that's been going on in the next reel, the horror films and everything else. So here we go. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Region 1, Dracula. Yes, I know. I'm familiar with this. Our first matchup, classic horror matchup. Number 1, Bela Lugosi. The gold standard 1931's Dracula, celebrating its 90th anniversary, which I don't know if you know this. It came out on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, 1931. Okay.
Oh my God.
Which I did not know that when I was doing this.
Because love never dies.
Well, no, because that's what you do on date in the 30s. You go for the neck. All right. So Bela Lugosi. Number 2, Christopher Lee. A lot of people don't know this. Has played Dracula 10 times in film, among other monsters. What? We might hear about that later. We're going to go with 1966's Dracula, Prince of Darkness. And contestant number 3, Lon Chaney Jr. from 1943's Son of Dracula. Bela Lugosi, Christopher Lee, Lon Chaney Jr. Which one wins?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, I say, Bella set the standard.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I gotta vote for Christopher Lee. Like, he is an amazing, amazing guy, just as a human being. The fact that he got to do it 10 times, which is more than Bella or Lon Chaney ever did. True. He put in the hours. I'm voting for Christopher Lee. What do you think?
I agree. That's very good logic. But I like Lon Chaney. I think he's still maybe the most well-known of them, isn't he? Like, isn't he
isn't he more well-known as a different monster, which I'm sure will be showing up?
He may come up. He may come up again. That's a bit of a spoiler tease, but he may come up again.
Oh, God. And I just spent all the summer watching movies from the 1930s and 40s. I can't believe that that was a joke. I didn't.
Okay. I'll say I'm actually, our friend Ray, like a friend of the show, who, your guest, is actually working his way through the Universal Horror Library right now.
Oh, that's exciting. I think I do want to do that.
I'm like, you two should compare notes.
No, I actually really do want to do that. But no, I don't know. That was just my instinct. I like the Lon Chaney version, but I don't know. I don't have any evidence to support that. I'm just going to say it.
Okay.
Sentimental favorite.
All right, so you're locked in. All right. Yeah, I'm going to break this one. Okay, I'm going to go with Christopher Lee, Kyle, because that's a bold choice. Okay. That's interesting. And Mr. Chaney Jr., later on, there will be more opportunities to give him some due. All right, so classic horror matchup. Okay, next. This is a weird one. I didn't know what to call this category. It's the, they made that movie? Matchup. Now, fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe know that Thomas Kretschmann as Baron Wolfgang von Strucker, among other roles, but who can forget his portrayal of Dracula in 2012's Dracula 3D?
Ooh.
Oh. Rutger Hauer was in that, and it was directed by Dario Argento. For you Suspiria fans,
it was bloody.
It was really crazy. All right, Tom.
Sounds like my kind of movie.
No, it's not. Well, a lot of these, I'll tell you, don't know. Thomas Kretschmann. Okay, number 2, Dominic Purcell has been a great addition to the DC television universe as Heatwave, but in 2004, he took a sad trip with Jessica Biel, Ryan Reynolds, and Wesley Snipes in Blade Trinity.
Blade Trinity.
As Dracula. Right.
Oh, wow.
And finally,
he was a Dracula that did not like to keep his buttons buttoned.
Oh God, I have to watch this immediately.
This one actually. Well, Blade Trinity. I don't even know what to say because it's out of context.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
But wait, Mandy, if you want one, I have a third option for you. Gerard Butler not only played Dracula in the 2000 film named Dracula 2000, but in a weird plot twist, which I'm going to spoil for you right now.
Oh, this is what makes this movie amazing
to me.
He also
played Judas Iscariot. And yes, I mean that Judas Iscariot.
I got to give it to Wes Craven to make it the fact that Judas Iscariot was actually Dracula, and he justifies it. Like, he goes all the way through. Like, that's why it's silver, because of the silver that he used. It's astounding.
So let me.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Thomas Kretschmann, Dominic Purcell, and Gerard Butler. Which one wins?
The audience. That's who wins.
Every time. Every time.
I went first last time. So what's your gut feeling now? Who is your sentimental favorite for this Dracula mashup?
I mean, I haven't seen the Dominic Purcell version. I would probably go with Gerard Butler.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he sounds like he has range.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
What do you think?
This is Transylvania. I don't know. I'm between that one and Dominic Purcell because in a movie where there's a lot of, I would say, people's performance that they're not entirely proud of, he seems to be the only one who was actually having fun.
Oh.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna go Dominic Purcell.
Oh wow!
Another vote split, Rob.
No, in this one, I'm okay. Gerard Butler, I'm gonna have to go because that movie's so crazy.
That movie is just
no good. Mandy, you win. Good pick. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Seriously, movie list of things people will watch this month, and that is Dracula 2000. Not on most lists.
So is Gerard Butler showing up later in the list as Phantom of the Opera?
Oh no, there's no Phantom.
No, he didn't make it. Oh,
no,
that's too bad.
All right, next, the comedy matchup. It's pretty simple, everybody. Leslie Nielsen in 1995's Dracula, Dead and Loving It, directed by Mel Brooks.
Uh-huh.
Sure. Oh, yes.
I'm going with a little twist here. Adam Sandler in 2012's Hotel Transylvania, animated. He provides the voice. Also in the sequels 2 and 3, but apparently not in 4. Don't know why.
Not in 4. Brian Hull.
There we go. And number 3, George Hamilton in 1979's Love at First Bite. Which one wins?
Oh, God.
Forgot that movie even existed.
Yes. Oh, that is, wow. Oh, how do you choose between Leslie Nielsen and George Hamilton? Okay, you go. You can go first on this one. Kyle.
Well, I can choose between them by not choosing either of them.
Oh.
Because I think Adam Sandler in Hotel is the most animated he's been in a film in decades.
Wow.
He and several, like, I feel like Adam Sandler's been phoning it in for years, and like he really went for it in those, and I have had to watch them because I have a 7-year-old and she's watched all of them numerous times, and I say he really actually goes for it. Like, he really does a performance as opposed to just, I don't know, just phoning it in like a lot of the voice actors tend to on these high profile things. So I'm voting for Adam Sandler.
I think I got to go with my first crush, George Hamilton. Yeah, because I loved Love at First Bite and Zorro. And
the Gay Blade.
Oh, God. I didn't get George Hamilton. I didn't understand what was going on, but I loved him. He was a little bit like Barry Manilow for me. I also was like, I love him, but I'm not quite sure what's happening over there. So, yeah, I'm going to go with George Hamilton.
Okay.
That was a great movie.
Let me just say, Kyle, I am amazed at the way you got there, because that I did not see coming at all. I got to give it to the man with the permanent tan. It's George Hamilton.
George Harrison.
I mean, who's still alive and kicking.
Is he? Oh,
great. Is he? That's fantastic.
Yeah, George Hamilton.
I didn't know that.
So
That's
there
great.
we go.
And I'm sure he's still just a bronze guy.
Sure.
Oh, God. What moxie that guy's
Right?
got. Moxie. Yeah.
Rob, this particular matchup was fantastic because there were no losers.
Well,
that's true.
It was hard.
All three of those were great.
It was hard. Well, and this is done because, as you see, this will create ridiculous matchups later on,
I know.
which of course.
I'm already meant to.
Yeah, you're like figuring out like this shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
All right. So last one of the Dracula round. I'm going to call these the definitive. To me, just for me, this is my opinion. Well, the other opinions may differ. The definitive matchup. Number 1, Frank Langella in 1979's Dracula.
Oh, uh-huh.
Number 2, Klaus Kinski in 1979's Nosferatu the Vampire.
Oh,
the Werner Herzog one, which, Mandy, don't watch at all. But
I think I have seen that one, actually.
yeah. 79. Interesting. Both of those. Did not know both those came out in 79. And of course, Mr. Gary Oldman, 1992's Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, that's right. The blood is the
Frank,
life.
Klaus, or Gary.
Wow.
I know, it's tough.
That's tough. That's very tough.
What do you think?
I'm always selecting the third. I am always selecting my personal choice. Like I'm really going with my gut. But I love Gary Oldman. I think the Nosferatu, I think the Klaus one scared the pants off me.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Whereas Gary Oldman was a little, I remember that being a little bit more like a, and then funny, and then, yeah, I'm going to go Gary Oldman.
All right.
For this one.
I thought Frank Langella had it in the bag. Like, I was like, oh man, you can't beat that. And then you said Gary Oldman. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, so I love Frank Langella, but he has Skeletor, so we can let them fall back on that. So Gary Oldman all the way.
Wow. Well, and he's also the voice in Small Soldiers. Come on. I mean,
Yeah, true.
All right, there we go. All right, we just closed out. There we go. That region is done. We'll come back to that as we go sum up, and this will get quicker as we get to this. Now, region number 2, the werewolf.
Ooh.
Classic horror matchup. You guys get a pass in this one because whether it's 1941's here's why. Classic horror, this is how it runs down with the werewolf. Whether it's 1941's The Wolfman, 1943's Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, or 1948's Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein, it's Lon Chaney Jr. and that's it.
That's right.
There is no other classic horror werewolf Wolfman.
I'm going to go with from Abbott and Costello.
At the Abbott and Costello version? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going with.
I'll agree.
Okay. Lon Chaney Jr. All right, next. This is again, they made that movie matchup. When you play a character like the Joker, some people are then ready for another round of time in the makeup chair. That's the tale of one Mr. Jack Nicholson in 1994's Wolf, directed by Mike Nichols, starring Michelle Pfeiffer. That I didn't know this. The role of that was supposed to go to Sharon Stone. She turned it down. Michelle Pfeiffer came in. That movie,
wow.
Wolf, Jack Nicholson. Anyway, number 2.
Yeah.
If we were playing Jeopardy, and the answer was movies where Anthony Hopkins plays the older version of the title character in the movie, all of us would say, The Mask of Zorro. That's not really the answer I'm looking for. I'm looking for 2010's The Wolfman. Which Benicio del Toro. Yeah.
Oh, right.
All right. So Anthony Hopkins in number 3, and I'm just going to leave this here. It's Taylor Lautner, whatever. Any of the Twilight movies, I don't really care. So,
wow. What's the opposite of an embarrassment of riches?
Yeah, right.
Jack Nicholson, Anthony Hopkins, Taylor Lautner. Which no offense.
Take it away, Mandy.
Which one
wow. Well, here's what I'll say.
These are bad dogs. Bad dogs.
But as a giddy teenager, I will say that Taylor Lautner has some appeal for sure and serviced what it was, right? Like, I'm going to go with the Taylor Lautner because I saw the other ones as well. And I remember even thinking then that they were bad. Like, like really being like, oh, wow. But they were trying to appeal to something. I think they just missed the mark. Like it was like, I believe it was a failed movie, but for what Taylor Lautner wanted to do, like for those movies, he crushed it, right? He was the werewolf in Twilight. Those movies are supposed to be that.
Kyle.
I can tell you that I drive my teenage daughter crazy because she got hit by the Twilight train. Like she got all into it and had to see all the things, read all the books and everything.
I'm sorry
and
for
so
your loss.
I kept sending her a picture of Taylor Lautner that I had made my own meme of, and and it said, "Hey, I want to marry that baby." She's like, that's not what happened. I'm like, isn't it though? I mean,
oh my god,
he does want to marry a baby, right?
I can't.
Like, there's more to it than and he imprinted on. I'm like, okay. So I in good conscience, I cannot vote for him.
Fair enough.
So the lesser of two great actors slumming it, I'm gonna have to go with Jack Nicholson and Wolf, just because I like that movie more than Wolfman, but not by much.
I seriously thought Kyle was setting up to where he was going to go. And my choice is Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, in good conscience, I just couldn't do it. No offense to Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, that was kind of.
You only can do so much with the material you're given.
I didn't see that coming. I totally didn't think you were going to.
And he was Shark Boy, so
I'm going to go with Jack. It's Jack. All right, I'm going to break that tie.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Fun times comedy. What's the comedy matchup? Michael J. Fox, 1985's Teen Wolf.
Oh, of course.
Oh yes.
Jason Bateman, 1987's Teen Wolf 2.
Oh yes.
And check this out. I got it, and I'm going to see this. Milana Vayntrub in 2021's Werewolves Within.
Oh yes, I have been waiting for that to hit home video.
Okay, yeah, it's out, or is it's coming out?
I don't. It has. So as far as I know, it's not out yet. It was only in theaters at the time, but maybe I'm
so
behind.
This movie.
But yeah, that's
everything I've read. This movie sounds like it's really great comedy, farcical comedy. And if you're saying to yourself, Milana Vayntrub, who is that? She plays this character Cecily Moore in the movie, but you know who else she plays? Because here's why you know her. She's the AT&T girl in the AT&T commercials.
Oh,
what?
Right?
Oh my god!
So there's that. I had no idea.
Wow.
And I think and Mandy can attest to this too, has probably made more money from the AT&T commercials than she did for doing that movie.
Yes, I think she has. Yep. Yes. And that's appropriate because you can get some monster deals over at AT&T.
Oh,
hey! Oh, come on.
That's the next. They should put that for their next campaign. Just, you're welcome, AT&T. You're welcome.
Yeah. Quick, copyright it.
Oh, Michael, Jason, Milana. Which one wins?
Oh,
go ahead, man.
I cannot ever vote for Taylor Lautner. I'm super interested in seeing the Milana one because of all of it. I mean, I'm really going to see that. But I cannot ever vote for anyone except Jason Bateman ever because he's my best friend and I love him. So I'm going to, again, just personal preference. I have to go with Jason.
Rob, you're going to be shocked, but I 100% agree with Mandy. Mostly because I've been listening to Smartless, the podcast, and they make so many great jokes about the fact that he's Teen Wolf 2.
Yep.
That I remember seeing that. I think I saw it in the movie theater because that's how old I am. And remember being like, oh, yeah, that's what we had.
He makes so much fun of himself, and it's great. Yeah.
It's just a delight. Oh. So yes, Jason Bateman.
Awesome. Excellent winner. All right. We're going to close out the werewolf. The definitive matchup. This is all over the place, but you'll know which one my favorite is. Oliver Reed in 1961's The Curse of the Werewolf. This is based on a novel, The Werewolf of Paris. It's actually known in a lot of circles. We've got that one. Number 2, David Naughton in 1981's An American Werewolf in London.
Of course.
And number 3, Christopher Stone in also 1981's The Howling.
Oh, yes.
Which one wins?
Uh-huh. Well, yeah.
Say I was looking up Werewolves Within to see if it was available yet, and apparently it's still in the on-demand circle at the moment. So I missed the first.
Oliver Reed, 1961's The Curse of the Werewolf.
Okay.
David Naughton, American Werewolf in London. Yeah.
Say, I mean, I know it's probably a cliche, but I gotta go American Werewolf in London. I mean, there's a reason that it's a timeless classic.
Yeah. I saw that movie for the first time. I was eating a cheese pizza at a Mr. Gaddy's in Texas, and they decided to, show it. It was like a Saturday night, Mr. Gaddy's in Kerrville, Texas, and they showed American Werewolf in London. And maybe that's where my aversion to horror films is. I was eating a tomato saucy cheese pizza as the American Werewolf was doing his worst. But I would agree. Yes, David Naughton. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. And the effects, I mean, those were iconic for so long.
Still.
All right. Great pick.
Yes.
Great pick. Strong pick. All right. We close out that region. Region number 3, the Frankenstein. Or for you purists, the monster, the creature, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever.
Frankenstein's.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Classic horror matchup. Number 1, Boris Karloff, 1931's. 1931! Again! 31, big year for the horror films. Frankenstein, also celebrating its 90th anniversary. Number 2, Bela Lugosi in 1943's Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. And number 3, Lon Chaney Jr. in 1942's The Ghost of Frankenstein. Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney Jr. Which one wins? Frankenstein.
It's impossible to pick. I mean, but it's got to be Boris Karloff, right?
It's got to be Boris
there you
Karloff.
Go.
Yeah.
No, I
wish I could go weird on that one, but
no, he does. He's got it. All right. So again, we return to.
Oh God, there's one I'm hoping you put on this list.
Wait, they made that movie? All right. So what do you get when you combine a graphic novel, gargoyles, more gargoyles, and Aaron Eckhart? You get 2014's I, Frankenstein, right. Or just call him Adam. I mean, that's fine. Aaron Eckhart, that movie, if you haven't seen it, I don't know what to say.
Man, as somebody out there is going to do a Dracula 2000 I, Frankenstein film festival, and they're going to have an amazing time.
Absolutely.
It's nuts.
So Aaron Eckhart, who knew? All right. So too much. That's too crazy for you. Okay. Well, how about this? What if we take the Frankenstein story? We tell it from Igor's perspective. Oh, wait. And you want Igor to be played by Harry Potter? And then you want to throw in maybe Professor X? And then maybe we throw in a little Welsh actor by the name of Spencer Wilding as the monster? Then you get 2015's Victor Frankenstein. Yeah, Spencer Wilding. Now, just so you know, Little Knight, do you know what Spencer Wilding, a role that he has also played? He was Darth Vader in Rogue One.
What?
Oh, yeah. Really?
So he's Frankenstein in Victor Frankenstein, which I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. Okay, so I don't know if I have the one you want, Kyle. This is the other one. So you all remember that awesome Dracula movie, Bram Stoker's Dracula, we talked about in 1992. For those of you who remember the 90s, a little funny thing happened. Everyone went, whoa, wait, hold on. You just take a classic horror guy, you take the author, you put the author in the title, and then you go crazy casting and you're like, yeah, we'll totally make that movie. So a little guy by the name of Kenneth Branagh said, hey, wait a minute. I can do that. I choose you, Robert De Niro.
Oh, yes. Leading to the infamous slip and slide scene.
We're talking about 1994's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Hey, speaking of Kenneth Branagh, for those of you who are fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you should tune in to season 4 of the Marvel Movie Minute.
True.
Where Matthew and Andy are going all in on Thor.
That's right.
I think those episodes start next week at the time of this recording.
Yeah. Can you believe it? Like,
okay.
You're still mourning the loss of us.
Not us. First of all, not us. You miss us. And then they're already doing this. And I don't know how they did it. I guess they don't have jobs. Whatever. Fine. That's fine. Whatever.
I don't know.
But
I say they're a machine. I say just even just to give you if you go listen to their Funny Thing Happened the Way of Thor's Hammer.
Yes.
Just the opening 5 minutes, you're gonna know if you're gonna love their show or not, because I instantly fell in love with it, and just in that kind of I like chef's kiss. Those guys are doing an amazing job.
Absolutely crushing it, and they have jobs, but they have a great love for this story and for everything about it. Please tune in, listen to it. Shameless plug. Yep. Sorry for that.
Shameless plug.
Okay, so you got
unsolicited
checks in the mail. Aaron Eckhart.
Why are we paying them again? All right, sorry. Go on.
And Bob De Niro. Which one wins?
Oh my God. You gotta
Aaron Eckhart?
Sure. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry,
I have seen
Bobby.
I have seen them. Victor Frankenstein is a wonderful failure.
Yeah.
Like it is a trash movie, but in a fascinating way. Okay. So Eckhart, we locked into that. The one I thought you were going
which one do you think I was gonna have?
put on there was Schuler Hensley from Van Helsing.
Oh,
can I tell you something?
Van Helsing.
Because what I love about that movie, there's I can say a lot, and maybe I'm trying to get the guys from Silver Linings to do this one as their show, because Van Helsing is a fascinating film, and I know that one of the three of us has a very personal connection to it. But we'll go on from there.
Oh yeah.
We'll get to that. But my favorite part of that is that when you first meet the monster, there's Hugh Jackman in leather and he's fighting monsters and everything, and the first time you see the Frankenstein's monster and the type of thing, he's the townsfolk are rioting and they have fire and they set the entire building on fire, and he goes to the thing, and his first line in the movie, he stands to the edge and addresses them all and says, "Why?" Because Schuler Hensley is a trained opera singer, and so he lets out this amazing thing. It's not "why" or any monster thing. He's "why." It's just glorious.
Putting on the red.
Wait, hold on. Now we're gonna get there.
Okay.
Okay. The reason why that movie was on the list is because I actually really like that movie a lot.
But there's a lot of good movies.
No,
on
I know,
this list.
but the movie's how did this? I mean, I actually think that.
Oh, okay.
I actually
I see
enjoy
what
that
you mean.
movie quite a bit. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron Eckhart, man, way to go. All right, easy. Comedy matchup. I had a stretch here because there's it. You already teased it, Mandy. Okay, I'm gonna go with number one. This is a stretch. Peter Hinwood as Rocky Horror from 1975's The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh.
So maybe a little bit. You got a little bit of stuff to think about.
The sword of Damocles is hanging over my head.
And then, yes, of course, we're going to put on the Ritz with Peter Boyle as the monster from 1974's Young Frankenstein. Yes. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I didn't really know a third one here. So I'm going to go with Patty Mullen from 1990's Frankenhooker. And if you don't know what that movie is, you probably
what a deep cut.
Should just look away.
Amazing.
Peter Hinwood.
Amazing.
Peter Boyle. Patty Mullen. Which one wins?
Oh my God. I'm gonna go full Peter Boyle.
Yeah, you can't.
No,
you can't go wrong.
That wasn't even.
Yeah.
All right. So this is interesting.
Sweet mystery of life. At last, I found
the definitive. And I don't know if this again. Your mileage will vary. First one, Charles Stanton Ogle, and you may not know who that is. He is from 1910's Frankenstein.
You may not know who that is.
You won't know who that is
Wow.
because this is not. You didn't spend the weekend watching films from the 1930s. How about the 1910s? Okay, this is an American.
That wasn't even a talkie, right?
American short silent horror film produced by Edison Studios.
Oh,
and
wow.
That Edison. So I had to include that because definitive, and that is one of the earliest. I mean, it's the earliest portrayal of Frankenstein on film. Number two. Okay, I have a sweet spot for this. Valerie Hobson in 1935's Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh.
Okay. And Christopher Lee in 1957's The Curse of Frankenstein. This movie will scar you. His portrayal of Frankenstein. Christopher Lee, no, it's not like what you think. The makeup, everything about it. This is from the Hammer Horror, who was known for all of producing all these Dracula films. They do this one, and this is the one with Peter Cushing as Baron Victor Frankenstein. So Peter Cushing is the scientist, Christopher Lee is the creature. Oh, anyway, I'm sorry. I may have let something there slip. Charles Stanton Ogle, Valerie Hobson, Christopher Lee. Which one wins?
I think we have to go Valerie.
Yeah, definitely. Right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I love it. All right, awesome. All right, that's it. Okay, we're almost near the end, and then we're gonna get a winner. All right, so, and this is shorter because The Mummy, Region 4, there's only 2 matchups because I don't know if you know this.
Oh.
The Mummy, not a lot of money. Like, or at least not on mummies I want to put on this list. So, classic horror matchup.
It's just so easy to defeat the mummy. You just step on the toilet paper.
The toilet paper, you burn him, kerosene. He's covered in paper.
However, if you had to pick a monster to be, I think you'd be a mummy.
Oh, sure. Right? Yeah.
Wait,
it's a whole different conversation because, well, it's all the perks and none of the negatives. Because you can go out in the day. You're not fed by the faces of the moon. You're not. Basically, you're a zombie, but you still have all your faculties. So you're like, essentially like the Crow, just dusty
and shriveled up in certain places too that you can't use. I mean, like, what are you talking about?
But you don't have a laundry list of things you're vulnerable to. They can stake your heart all you want.
Okay,
doesn't matter. Set you on fire.
I'm
fine.
Gutter mind. I didn't even think of that. You're totally right. Okay, fine. That's fine.
Sorry.
All right.
That's a side. That's for my new podcast.
All right. Classic horror matchup. It's easy. Boris Karloff, 1932's The Mummy. Eddie Parker, 1955's Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. And yes, that's right. It's the quadruple crown, Lon Chaney Jr. In 1932's The Mummy, The Mummy's Tomb. The character's name is Karras. This made him the only actor to portray all four of Universal's major horror characters: the Wolfman, Frankenstein's monster, the Mummy, and Count Dracula.
The quadfecta.
He is, yes. So Boris Karloff, Eddie Parker, Lon Chaney Jr.
Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah, Lon
there
Chaney
he goes.
Jr.
He gets it. Okay, and then I'm going to go with the definitive matchup, and this is absurd. Arnold Vosloo, 1999's The Mummy.
Hard to beat.
Okay, you're going to laugh at me. I'm going to put it in here.
Okay.
So Sophia Boutella in 2017's The Mummy, because she's a great part of that movie.
She is a great part of that movie. I have a real soft spot for that movie.
So bear with me. And this is me. I'm just putting it in here. Bob Ivy from 2002's Bubba Hotep. Thank you very much. All right.
Wait, there's no...
Which is also really good, too.
There's no mummy hooker? I'm disappointed.
There's...
Quick, get on that.
I'm going to write that. You heard it here first.
Nothing beats
for next Hollywood pitch session.
That was... All right. So Arnold, Sophia, Bob Ivy.
It's called You Can Call Me Mummy.
Oh my God! I'll be your mummy.
Draft. First draft. I'll get that.
That's cool.
There you go.
Nice.
Do we have a winner here?
It's Arnold Vosloo.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we're just gonna reverse it back. We're gonna get these down. Lon Chaney Jr. versus Arnold Vosloo.
Lon Chaney Jr.
Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Lon Chaney.
Sorry, Arnold. I mean,
yeah, no, that's okay. All right. We're gonna go back. Frankenstein. We have Peter Boyle versus Valerie Hobson.
Oh, Peter Boyle.
Peter Boyle.
Yeah.
All right. And then we've got Aaron Eckhart versus Boris Karloff.
Oh.
Boris Karloff.
Okay. This is where it gets crazy. Boris Karloff versus Peter Boyle.
Off against himself?
Oh, that's hard. Oh, that's really hard.
Oh boy.
I'm going to fight for the comedy. I would say Peter Boyle.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to agree. I think Peter Boyle.
All right, there we go. All right.
Yeah.
And now we get to the werewolf. We have David Naughton versus Jason Bateman.
My God. Jason Bateman.
Wow.
Or
yeah, you know what? Let's do that because I'm to see how that shakes up.
This is where it gets crazy. All right, Jason Bateman.
People are going to hate
this makes no sense. You came to listen to all the movies and the fun. All right, Jack Nicholson versus Lon Chaney Jr.
Oh,
Lon Chaney Jr.
And now Lon Chaney Jr. versus Jason Bateman.
Oh.
I don't think comedy's going to win this time.
Nope, we got to go with Lon.
Lon Chaney Jr., yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, okay. All right. I'm tabulating. Okay, now we have Gary Oldman versus George Hamilton.
Oh no, how did we do that?
Oh God.
Oh, Mandy, what have we done?
I don't know. This feels
what
tragic.
What unholy abomination have we unleashed?
This is, what would the undead do?
What's your well, in a fight?
Yeah, okay.
I think it's Gary
Oldman. Gary Oldman,
all
for
right.
sure. Mm-hmm.
Gary Oldman and our
Oldman.
final semifinal, Christopher Lee versus Gerard Butler.
Oh. Christopher Lee.
All right.
Yeah.
Christopher Lee, Dracula again. So Christopher Lee versus Gary Oldman.
Oh,
that's
how
tough.
did we do this to ourselves?
Wow. Christopher Lee?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to go Christopher Lee.
Okay. All right. Now, here's where I knew it was going to get crazy.
Even though he's dead, I'm still afraid of him.
Looking behind me right now.
Yeah.
All right. This is it. The final four. First game, first match. Peter Boyle, Frankenstein versus Lon Chaney Jr., The Mummy.
Oh.
I don't know. Boy, it's like both of those are both timeless. Which has aged. I mean, like, Young Frankenstein is still funny.
Yes.
Yeah, Peter Boyle. Let's go with Peter Boyle. Well, we don't have to.
Well, you make a compelling argument. So,
I don't know.
Yeah, let's look. You know what? He deserves to be in the the final matchup. Yeah, Peter Boyle.
Peter Boyle, Frankenstein. All right.
Yes.
Versus either Lon Chaney Jr. again. He made twice in the final four as the werewolf.
There you go.
Versus Christopher Lee, Dracula. Lon Chaney or Christopher Lee?
I gotta stick with my boy Christopher Lee.
I was gonna say Lon Chaney.
Oh, see, go ahead.
Is that what you're gonna do? Is that your final answer?
We've been unified a lot, so let's let Rob.
Yep.
Oh, it's so hard. I don't.
You see what you're doing?
But I kind of.
Welcome to our world.
No, you know what? I'm going to go with Christopher Lee. Okay, I'm going to break this up with Christopher Lee because guess what? Our final matchup.
Oh boy,
Christopher Lee Dracula versus Peter Boyle Frankenstein.
Oh God, I'd love to see that movie.
Oh God.
Which one wins? Who is the champion?
That's.
Oh, it's like the way things have been going. I think Rob, you're gonna end up having to settle.
I don't know
because I feel like Mandy's going to pick Peter Boyle.
Well, if we're talking about like legitimate, scary,
this is the champion, the ultimate monster.
I guess it's got to be Christopher Lee then. Yeah.
I say it's got to be Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Wow! Congrats to Peter Boyle, though. I mean, congratulations.
Boyle made it much farther.
Yeah,
he made it way farther than Gerard Butler.
Wasn't? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't hard to do though. Wasn't hard to do.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for playing along. That's a lot of movies.
Now, if it was winning a fight, I would still pick Christopher Lee.
I can't believe how many movies I have to watch now in October. This is crazy.
There was a lot. There's a lot in that. But hey, guess what? For those of you listening, you got some great movies to watch for the month of October. So
yes,
enjoy.
Enjoy.
I'm gonna do a little.
So, edit point here. Can we talk about the Van Helsing thing? Or
please go ahead.
Oh, sure.
Do you okay? Yeah, please.
So, just as a trivia note, just because I found out this personal information, Mandy, you have a very specific personal connection to the film Van Helsing. Can you reveal to the SatMat audience what that connection is?
I voiced in the video game. I voiced I don't remember the character's name.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale. I did her in the video game. Yes.
What?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I had to do a full-on
Valorous
Transylvanian accent and the whole spiel. I could not believe that I booked that job. And the whole time I was like launching into it was going Irish. I was like, ugh. But yeah, it was a blast, actually. I got to do a whole vampire thing. It was great.
So wait, did you have to do, so you didn't have just dialogue. Did you have to do the grunts and the screams?
Oh yeah, all of it.
No.
Yeah, you have to do all the sounds.
That's right. This is when you have a professional actress because she had to do the sound of Kate Beckinsale in accent being impaled.
What does that sound like? Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
It was a while ago.
Put her on the spot.
I don't remember, but I imagine it was like, ow, something like that. Like, guys, I don't want to give away all the gold right now. You know what I mean?
Hey, we got you.
We got you. Have to rent the game. Like, I'm not gonna.
You're no James Lipton. She's not gonna break out the Kate Beckinsale just
come on, man.
That's right.
May I speak to Forrest Gump?
That is fantastic. Oh wow.
Yeah, really fun. It was fun.
And do you have a copy of? Do you still have a copy of the game? Do you have a copy of the game like on the wall or something?
I believe you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh. Done.
Yep.
All right. Sweet.
I think before the monster movies, we should all take a jaunt over to YouTube and see that, and then yeah.
When you're done listening to the show, hop over to YouTube, Van Helsing video game, look for the cinematics.
Yep.
And know that you're one step closer to the voice of Annabelle.
That's awesome. All right, just a little bit of housekeeping we got to do here. You know, The Next Reel is currently in the second series of its 10th anniversary season. It's going to be a fun year looking at women-directed films over the course of 10 unique series. They're currently doing a horror debut series. Remember, all of these movies will be connecting to this show through our weekly lists. If you want to vote in next week's list challenge, head over to the Show Talk channel in the Next Reel Discord community, and you can cast your vote there. If you're not yet a member, but would like to become one, just head over to thenextreel.com/membership. The most it'll cost you is $5 a month. Members get access to live streams as we record, usually. Early access to shows in your very own personal podcast feed, access to the super secret member channels and Discord member bonus episodes, and even stickers. What? When did we get stickers?
It's true.
Wait, I never got a sticker.
Say, maybe you're not.
Maybe I need a
because yes, remember, Pete hand makes the stickers. He kisses each one of them.
Wait, what? No, not now. Don't do that now.
It's true.
Well, you know what though? By the time it gets to you, it's probably that's safe.
You can get the option of a COVID-free sticker.
Okay.
We're not monsters.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know why you wouldn't.
So if you're also wondering what movies The Next Reel is going to be talking about in the coming weeks and months, you can visit our HQ page on Letterboxd, where you'll find a list of all the movies in the 2021-2022 season. And while you're there, Letterboxd is offering a discount to anyone listening to The Next Reel. Just use the code NEXTREEL, all letters. Just make sure that is the whole thing, NEXTREEL, at checkout, and you can upgrade your Letterboxd account to Pro or Patron with a 20% off discount. This discount also works for renewals. I say all the letters because Letterboxd is missing like a vowel. So sometimes people get confused. I get confused. There you go. It's time for the lists. So we've been, I think a couple weeks ago, what was it? The animals die. Then they stupid save the cats. And I don't even know why you would do that. That was last week. Nobody cares. This week, it's annoying children because
because there's so many of them.
The Babadook. Yeah. Oh, I got that. Yeah, we know. So it's the fourth film in the Next Reel's horror debut series, directed by Jennifer Kent from 2015. Wow. Annoying children. There was a movie that I immediately thought of. I'm going to see if it gets stolen. Mandy, you're up first. What's your first
I get to go first?
Yes.
You do? First trailer means first up in the game.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, this is definitely not going to be, there's no way this is going to be stolen or any, no one else thought of this. And it's a weird, actually it's not that weird. The most annoying child in any movie ever. And it is Scott Schwartz, who played Eric in The Toy with Richard Pryor.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Good pull.
Nailed it. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep. That's pretty strong. Pretty strong opening bid.
Thank you. Thanks. Can't beat it.
That's amazing. That's okay.
Yeah. Wow. Wonder Wheel. I haven't thought about that movie in forever.
Oh my God. I know, right?
kidding.
But that's every time I think of an annoying kid in a movie, like he's the top of the list.
Top of the bottom.
I'm like,
well done. All right. I'm going to go with, so here's the character. The character is Jason White from 2006's Superman Returns.
That's
was it a steal? No.
It's a steal.
Really?
Yes.
I kind of had a theme with my movies. They all had.
You broke my theme. I'm afraid now we did the same
Wait, are you
theme.
serious? Do we have the same theme? Oh my God. If we do, we are insane.
I'm winning Sabat. I'm going to win Sabat.
Quick, talk about why it's important while I try and find something next. I thought there would be no way you would get that one.
You can. Oh my. Okay. Well, I picked that because that kid stinks. And the way I looked at this is that there were movies I thought of immediately that were like, no, that movie would have been better had that child been murdered earlier in the film. And so this was not the film. This was like the third film I thought of. Yeah, Superman Returns. Kyle, I apologize, but I'd like to see what you come up with now.
Okay, well, so my thing was going to be the fact that whenever they bring back characters in a sequel and give the character a child, that child is almost always terrible. Yes. And so my first example of that would be from actually a movie we previously mentioned. You had you have these people, and over the course of the movie, you fall in love with him and her usually, and you want them to get together, and they get together at the end. They have the big kiss, and you're so excited. And they come back in the sequel, and they have a kid, and you're like, oh God, it's the worst. And my example of that is when The Mummy returned. So Mummy Returns in 2001. Alex O'Connell.
Steal.
The O'Connell
yes.
child. We're on the
totally on the same page. No, we were totally there.
Yep. Alex O'Connell, the worst. And he actually is the reason that the whole second movie happens, because he will not listen. He thinks he's smart, ruins everything, including that movie.
Dumb kid.
Oh my God.
And he say, you know how bad he is? He's so bad, he just ruins your list.
Unbelievable.
All these years later, 20 years later, he's still ruining things.
Horrible.
Alex O'Connell.
Are you okay, Kyle? Do you need to get a glass of water? Are you going to be
out?
Okay, all right.
I'm dry. That's the problem. I'm dehydrating.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yes, it is, Mandy.
It is.
All right.
While we frantically look for replacements because we know what this is going to do.
And I'm sorry because I feel like this is also going to be a steal because it's the second most annoying child in any movie ever. But it is Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yep.
I want an Oompa Loompa now, Daddy.
But I mean, it's understandable. What else has she known?
Why wouldn't you? They're adorable. They work hard. If I could get 3 of them to live in my house right now, I would do it. Veruca had a point.
The songs, Mandy, the songs.
Oh God, I love that. I used to know all the words, but I blacked it out.
Oh, nice pick.
Thanks.
Very nice. All right. Okay, so this is the movie I thought of first. It's low-hanging fruit, I'm not going to lie. But I will tell you this, it is rare that I've ever seen a movie, and as I'm watching the movie, I just kept thinking, please die. Please. That is Zach and Gray, the brothers from 2015's Jurassic World.
Oh,
those kids. Those kids. No,
but a good choice.
I don't care. I don't care if their little gumball thing that they're in gets crushed. I don't care if they suffocate. I don't care if the monster eats them. To be honest with you, I don't care if they die in a drowning or an electrical fire or whatever. Those kids are the worst.
Okay. That's
totally.
A good point.
Seriously, and I'm not even joking. You could have killed them early in the movie because everyone hates them. And then the whole movie could have been like, oh, I'm so sad I've lost my nephews and I don't know what to do now. And I got to redeem myself because I got to take their bodies back to their mother and I don't know what's going to happen. It would have made the movie better. That's all.
I see your children and dinosaurs, and I raised you a child against dinosaurs who's worse than that.
What?
Because we meet Ian Malcolm. We love Ian Malcolm. Then we meet Ian Malcolm's daughter, and she's the worst. Kelly Curtis from The Lost World at Jurassic Park. You might remember the gymnast.
Oh.
Who parallel barred a raptor out of a wall.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the worst of the Jurassic Park series.
Oh, it's so hard. I hate those two boys so much. Oh. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Okay.
Well,
she stowed away too. That was even worse.
Oh,
you weren't even supposed to be there.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, she sounds awful. That sounds.
I love all this. I love all this children hate. This is kind of fun.
She's the
it's
worst.
Very cathartic.
Do you know how ridiculous it is?
Yeah.
Like a few weeks ago when they're all like, oh, animals are dying. It's so sad. And we're like, oh, kill the children. Kill all of them. Yeah.
Raptors.
Start with the head. Or no, start with the feet so they can watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're definitely rooting for the wrong people in that. Like, oh, yay, go dinosaurs. That's probably not what the filmmaker intended. Well, my theme was obviously very old school. And this is a very unconventional choice because maybe he's not even really a kid, but technically he was playing a youth in this movie. And he was It was Bill Paxton playing Chet in Weird Science.
Oh, okay.
He was the bullying brother, and I felt for the kids so much. Like I was very scared of and annoyed by Chet. So I chose Bill Paxton playing Chet in Weird Science.
Excellent choice.
You know,
that's
hated that guy.
Really a sophisticated comedian for sure. But I didn't know we were actually supposed to be annoyed. I thought the character was supposed to be annoying, and he was very annoying.
Great list. That's a great list. Okay, so this is my backup. Some people might be upset with this. I think maybe a couple of months ago on this show, I talked about us watching Jerry Maguire with our daughter. And I commented about how much the show has aged actually fairly well. A lot of its tropes still hold up well, the characters, the acting, the emotions, and everything else. But I can tell you something, Ray Boyd, Jonathan Lipnicki, I have no offense to Jonathan Lipnicki. He did his job. He did his job really well. I wanted to punch that kid in the face so many times. So many times.
You know, dogs and bees can smell fear.
The human brain weighs 8 pounds and you can hold it in your hand and I'll shove it down your throat and then we're going to throw you off a cliff. Let me tell you this. That kid, no. He can say the F word however many times he wants as a 7-year-old. No. Jerry Maguire. Wow. I'm angry. What has happened to me? I need to go eat a snack. What?
Fair enough.
Kyle, take us out.
So I was going to end my trifecta of sequel kids being the worst with Jason White from Superman Returns, but obviously Rob was first. So my replacement one actually is in honor of The Only Murders in the Building being a big hit right now. It's actually a man playing a child because we're going all the way back to 1994 with Clifford, starring Martin Short and Charles Grodin, where grown-up Martin Short is playing a child.
Yep. Oh, that was so good.
So even though he was, I think, 30 or something at the time, he was playing a 10-year-old.
Yeah, that's interesting because I almost went with the kid from Big.
Oh, yeah.
Who plays Tom Hanks' best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one, too.
Down, down, baby, down by the roller coaster.
Wait, and did I see, is Clifford making a comeback? There's a new seed.
There's a Clifford the Big Red Dog movie coming out, which is different from the Clifford movie.
What is the Clifford movie? Wait, what?
Clifford movie is about a dog who's big
and
red.
Eats annoying children.
What's this Clifford one?
Yeah.
Why do I miss the?
Clifford is basically it's Martin Short playing an obnoxious 10-year-old.
Yeah. It's a character.
Even though he's a grown like that's the. Okay,
did they not know about the Big Red Dog when they made that?
They got there first.
With you.
For a Clifford movie, they got there first.
I love it. All right. Clifford, do you guys have any backups?
No, that was my backup was Clifford.
No, okay. The only other backup I had, the Jerry Maguire always in my pocket because again, stupid Edmund with his stupid Turkish delight in the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion and the Witch in the Wardrobe. So dumb. Edmund's such a whiny.
Yeah.
I can't. We need to do an explicit version of this podcast because I want that kid, and the acting is great. I mean, this is not an attack on any of these actors or actresses. Just give it up, dude. The Turkish delight's not good, and then you you stink.
That's a good one.
All right.
That's a good one.
Death to all those annoying kids. All right. So I think
and no one mentioned Draco Malfoy. So
I had Dudley Dursley.
Yeah.
Oh, Dudley Dursley's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's worse.
All right. Well, there we go. That's our wrap up for those. Great lists. Good mix of films. So the next Real Film Podcast is talking about Agnieszka Śmosznika's film The Lure. The 5th film in the horror debut series. What? That's even over my head. I don't even know what that is. That's already going on. They have a topic for next week. Guess what the topic is? Should we tell them?
Tell them.
It's working as a dancer. Which I mean,
wow.
I mean, working as like that's well, okay. And you know, Kyle started this. I had a little beef with Kyle, but we've made up because we're friends. You know, like Kyle tried to negate certain films from the next week's selection. Working as a dancer. Yeah. I mean, let's just say it right now. I don't know who's on next week's show, but if anybody picks,
it's a mystery.
If anybody picks Flashdance,
I was going to say that too.
On you.
Ban Flashdance.
Totally on you. You hang your head in shame, whoever you are, because somebody's going to do it. All right. So I think that's it. Oh, and then there is, as for the next poll, it's live right now. It is for the movie Saint Maud, directed by Rose Glass from 2019, the sixth and final film in the Next Reel's horror debut series. If you want to vote, head over to the Show Talk channel in our Discord server. Man, we did. Okay, this is a bit of a marathon, but I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Had a blast. And it's not because of me. It's because of Mandy and Kyle. You both are true gems. Thank you for joining us today. Any final thoughts? Mandy, any final words? Any parting?
That I can't wait to go into a horror marathon, and I'm sure my 9 and 11-year-old will be so grateful. They have like nightmares after a coffee commercial, so this is going to be really fun. We're going to have a great October.
You're going to be seeing them a lot.
Yeah, a lot of. Mommy, can I sleep with you?
11, and then midnight, and then 1, and then yeah.
That's awesome, Kyle. Any final words?
I just wanted to shout out, when you're done listening to this podcast, I have another podcast to recommend to you. They are doing Batman, the audio adventure. So HBO Max has its own podcast that they put out. It is a audio drama, but it is done at such an unbelievably level. First of all, Jeffrey Wright, who is currently the Watcher, is Batman. But the rest of the cast, it's played, Batman himself, he's played absolutely dramatically straight. So they're not doing his 66 Batman thing. But everyone else are almost all Saturday Night Live alumni. So the narrator is Chris Parnell. The mayor, Hamilton Hill, is Ted Lasso himself, Jason Sudeikis. Commissioner Gordon is Kenan Thompson. Wow. Jeez. Yeah, and like Bobby Moynihan is the Penguin. I mean, it's amazing, and like even have Seth Meyers is Jack Ryder. I mean, like the rest of it's everyone, and Brent Spiner is the Joker. I mean, like it's just an amazing array of talent. It's extremely well written and very well performed, and it's done in this interesting sort of like style where they break up the story, so they keep saying like, oh, we're going to talk about that more later, and so they're keeping you hooked to come back later. But it's really, really good. So I say when you're done listening to this podcast and every other episode on The Next Reel, hop on over to Batman the Audio Adventures.
Awesome. All right. Well,
I wish there was a promotional plug for that, but it's just so darn good.
Well, you have been listening, and you've got a ton of things to entertain yourself. On behalf of the Next Reel Film Podcast group of podcasters, we thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next Saturday matinee. Stay safe. We love you. Have a great time. Till next time. Bye.